what is it about Irish film and art overall that speaks to you on like a personal or a national level, I suppose?
I suppose you can differentiate it at a national level.
Yeah.
And in my role as ambassador, I find Irish culture and Irish film and Irish arts is a wonderful way of representing the country. It has a huge resonance here in the United States. People connect to Irish literature, Irish music, Irish dance, and it's interesting to bring them into an appreciation of Irish film, because we do need to educate the American public about that. When they think about Irish film, they think, of course, about iconic films like The Quiet Man and so on, which I referenced earlier. But we want to make people understand about what's going on in contemporary Ireland and the explosion of talent and imagination that there is there. At a personal level, I love it.
Right.
I relate to it all, and it's how you see the world, how you live. But obviously, I'm very much focused on my professional role here.
Of course, yes. Do you think that America is more is opening itself more to the Irish film aspect?
I think they're coming to a more sophisticated appreciation of what's happening in Irish film. I do think that there is more readiness to look at what's happening in contemporary film and a move away from the John Hine picture postcard Ireland to an understanding of the multi-layered, multi-ethnic, sometimes very gritty reality of Ireland. I was in the audience, for example, when there was a showing of Calvary over here.
Okay.
And I was very interested to see the audience reaction to that. Some of the more traditional people thought it was a betrayal of their sense of Ireland, but many others responded very, very well to it and found it interesting and an interrogation of Ireland, contemporary Ireland, and the position of the church and all of that.
Right.
So I think there is a readiness to be more experimental, more open to what's happening in contemporary film in Ireland.
As you said, there are a lot, there's a huge Irish ethnicity over here in America. Do you think it's going to help those people who maybe have lost touch with their ancestors, want to learn more about their history, more about their culture, because you have a Terrible Beauty being shown on Sunday about the Easter Rebellion, Easter Rising?
I think there are two different audiences that we need to reach out to in the United States. The first is Irish America. We have a diaspora of nearly 40 million in Irish America. And I think there is a huge appetite among that diaspora to connect to Ireland, to understand Ireland, all of that. The connection differs, whether you're first, second, third generation. The level of awareness, level of knowledge about Ireland differs. But there is a huge appetite among that almost 40 million people to connect in some way with Ireland, and to do it visually through film is very important. But I also think it's very important that we don't neglect the non-Irish, all the rest of America, the people who have a sophisticated interest in contemporary culture, whatever form it takes, and who are interested in film just because it's good and it's cutting edge. It's interrogating the life we lead, and I think it's very important. And a festival like this, I think it was very interesting looking around the audience. I would say it crossed both communities, if you like. On the one hand, you could look around and see there when you heard it from the accents and so on, Irish, Irish American. But there were a lot of people there that I wouldn't normally see at typically Irish events. And they're here because they're interested in contemporary film, European film, experimental film, and that's an audience that we really need to reach out to as well.
Okay, just one more question, because I know you're kind of busy. Do you think that this is the 9th year of the Capital Irish? Do you think we'll start to see more of these huge Irish festivals of any kind, film, literature, art, anything in America? Do you think that this will...
They're already moving.
Oh, they are?
There is some really interesting stuff going on around the country. We have 6 consulates now.
Right.
Not just in the traditional centres of Irish population like New York and Chicago and San Francisco. We have consulates in Atlanta and Austin. And I am really struck when you go into some of these non-traditional centres what an appetite there is for Irish culture of all types, including Irish film. So I think there is enormous potential, and I think there's an interest in Ireland. The Ireland brand is very good, and I think people are open, and if we can present them with a range of films and drama and literature and all of that, they would be ready to go beyond the classical, well-known, which is very valuable, and we need to obviously continue to embrace that. But I think there is, particularly among young people, there is a readiness to be a bit more experimental in their absorption of Irish culture. So I'm very optimistic about it.
Great. Thank you very much for your time.
Pleasure. Okay.